What do you feel like gave you your bounce? Like, what was the big?
Mostly growing up and dunking a lot. That's where I got like pretty far. Probably if I didn't have a 40, I was really close to a 40 just from dunking a lot. And then probably 5 months before dunk camp, I started actually lifting, and then my vertical went up like 2 to 3 inches in that 5 months. So that on top of the dunking helped a ton.
So, did you ever feel like you plateaued at any point, or just kind of like stayed at a consistent area or level?
Maybe like for a bit when I was just jumping, and then right when I like touched weights, it was like instant, instant bounce unlocked. But I think that's
Instant
only
bounce.
because I had such a jumping history.
Yeah. So you weren't really like lifting like a lot before that, or did you lift at all? I mean, for school even?
No, like I do like a set of deadlifts just for fun, or like go in the gym and do one set of squats, but no like actual lifting.
So, what do you feel like looking back at your training in the past that helped you get your bounce more? I know you said you hit once you get on THP, right? You're starting to lift weights, but what do you feel like was the most important thing for your bounce?
Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, nowadays I would say power cleans, like Olympic lifting. But in the beginning, honestly, my progress was just like constant, like always going up. Never really had plateaus. I've had injuries that like made me stop progress, but not like training plateaus, to be honest. Having good technique and then not
Mm.
overdoing it, um, because I was never really disciplined in the weight room, in like only the weight room. I always did extra stuff, like I said, like playing basketball and doing extra activities. So after about like 5 injuries, I was like, all right, maybe I should just take it serious. Either mess around and have fun with my friends, like do dumb stuff, or actually lock in for training, and be like and try to be as good as I can.
Did you like lower him at all when you were a kid?
Yeah, so that's what I did. Like right before I stopped playing hockey, I can kind of go a little more in the actual story of how I got into dunking. So I was,
Yeah.
my dad got me adjustable basketball goal. 'Cause like I said, I played sports all the time, just even outside my friends, like every day when I come back from school. So he got me an adjustable goal for me and my friends to play on. And one day because we would just lower it. And I didn't know what dunking was or basketball was. We just dunk on it for fun. And one day I looked up like cool dunks to do on YouTube. And Billy Dunkademics, his video of Tyler Curry popped up, and I watched that, and then like the rest is history. I loved it ever since then.
When you were younger in your training, what are some like mental blocks and maybe imposter syndrome doubts you had about yourself that you had to overcome, and how did
Yeah.
you overcome those things?
Yeah. One big one was rushing, meaning like I got to get this, I got to do it now, especially because I was posting on YouTube so much. I'm like, if I don't make progress this week, people are going to think I'm falling off. So I would push myself too much and then like overtrain. So that was just like out of a lack mentality of, am I going to increase enough? Am I going to get there? Because if I trusted in 2 years, I would be like, if there was just a schedule, 6 months you land a windmill, 6 more months you land an East Bay, another year you land like a behind the back or something, right? I would just do that. But when I was rushing, I was worried I wasn't going to make there, so I would overtrain. So it's just the trust in the process was a really big one, and how I overcame that was you just have to act on it. It's like I knew that it felt true, and I'm like, okay, well, I can't push myself. I have to get better at listening to my body. So that's another reason why I went back to energy, because every vlog, I'm like, yes, I'm doing this workout, but I don't have a strict schedule. Because if I go super hard on squats and I make a PR, I can't plan for that breakthrough. So now that breakthrough happened, I have to adjust the next part of my schedule. Again, same with the dunking. It's like if I go for a dunk and I land a new dunk, or I feel like I jumped my highest I've ever did, that's more stress on the body. I can't stick to my plan. That wouldn't make sense to go hard the next day on weights. So I have to really flow with it. So I started to really learn intuitive training and treat it more as like an art where every day is a little different. You have the ultimate goal, but the ultimate goal was for me was this super strong foundation that feels like I'm giving my body the best chance to jump higher.
Very interesting.
Foundation. In short, I'd say foundation change. Like instead of trying to jump, I would say like really focus on your floor. So stop worrying about this. Just keep doing this. This is like a bonus, and if you keep doing this, then like you increase your, but you focus on your mobility, you focus on your strength, you focus on your health. then your floor is increasing. That's so much better.
Right.
I
Really?
was I was like a first dunk level till 2 years ago, maybe.
Uh,
Um, let's see. Yeah, when I got my first dunk, I was 14, and I could do pretty consistent one and two handers till I was like 18, 19. And then I started being able to squeak in windmills sometimes and like get a little reverse pump. And that was about it till that day I met Jordan Kilgannon, and he was like, dude, you suck. You can do so much more with how high you're jumping. And so it was more just focusing on the motions and everything that brought it for me from squeaking everything in to punching um, trick dunks and stuff.
yeah.
If that makes sense. For me, it had a lot to do with coordination because my upper body, my hands haven't been very coordinated at all. That's why I sucked at basketball. I couldn't dribble. I didn't have fast hands. So like, just getting the windmill motion was hard. I'd be doing them like slow and have to have the ball completely cuffed. So I had to get like this high just to make one because
Yeah.
I was so uncoordinated. But if you're pretty coordinated, like Dylan Hagen, you can make use of your space. Like once you get your first dunk, if you get up to here and you're coordinated, you can probably windmill, maybe even East Bay.
What do you
Yeah.
think is like the key thing that helped you increase your vertical?
Um, I'd say for me it was weight room numbers. I think that's rare. I think that well, not rare, but I think that I had a lot of jumping in my life before I had weight room experience, which I think not a lot of dunkers have specifically, because I feel like a lot of dunkers maybe aren't so much hoopers. And so my jump form was dialed from the beginning. I mean, there's improvements I want to make, but like I'm comfortable jumping. I feel like my technique's good. I think weight room was like the number one thing I needed to work on. So that's definitely helped the most, I would say. A lot of dudes like come from being strong, and like I have a friend like this. They like are super strong, and they just like need jump reps, like jump technique practice, like just reps, you know.
What do you feel like the key to your bounce has been? I guess just major
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. So I mean, kind of like I was talking about earlier, just jumping. Like I can't even remember a time that I wasn't jumping. I probably started lowering, or not lowering, but just like jumping and trying to touch the rim and stuff when I was like 10. And so yeah, like started jumping at like 10. I remember I touched the rim in 7th grade. Got my first dunk in 8th grade. First windmill in 9th grade. East Bay 10th grade. And then this year, probably going to hit under both. So I think just being like generally consistent, like even if it wasn't like, I jump, like now I jump Wednesdays, Saturdays. Like even if it's not like that, but just like I've never gone a week without jumping except like the one time I've been injured. Yeah, like literally just jumping every single week has been huge. Learning jump technique from a young age was huge. And then this isn't really about jumping, but just doing like low rim dunks and just trying to do every single dunk that I see online on a low rim has been very good for my trick dunks, obviously. And then obviously, yeah, I did some other programs in the past. Some of them were good. Some of them I probably were good. I just wasn't very consistent with. But staying consistent with Jump Master X for the past year has really transformed my vertical and just strength in general. So yeah, that's been the key to like the 4-inch increase I've had in the last year. But yeah, generally just being
jumping.
consistent with jumping is like the major thing that I suggest for everyone, especially when they're super young. So yeah, never go a week without jumping unless you have crazy injuries going on. But
what kind of helped me do more research when it comes to like my vertical, like learning like depth jumps. Like depth jumps really helped me because like I started to learn the mechanics of like hinges. I started to learn the mechanics of like your calf muscles, like all these things when it comes to like your shin splints and stuff like that. I started learning like the whole chain up from there. I wasn't consistent though. I'm not gonna say like I was consistent at all. I just had the awareness of it, and then from there, I got a coach, and then that coach kind of consistently helped me, kind of do Bulgarian split squats, do Bulgarian split squat jumps, stuff like that, and then started to have crazy one leg bounce, bro. Like it was insane, man. Like I've never had that one leg bounce like how I had it my sophomore year.
What do you feel like's really like leveled up your athleticism recently in terms of like your training and what you're doing? Do you feel like doing the actual jumps, or do you feel like what you've been doing in the weight room has really helped?
Actually, I think the sprints have been the most beneficial. We've been introducing sled sprints, sled accelerations for the past month or two, and I've just seen not only like my skill and acceleration take off, but just how overall powerful I feel. And so it's been kind of a game of like being able to control the speed within my jumps. So yeah, I think that the accelerations especially have been doing numbers. Yeah.